How's it going, everyone? So, it has been a very eventful series of years, and a lot has happened since the last time I've made an upload to my YouTube channel. I guess it's gone over a couple of different name changes over the years. I think it's now VG Revs. So lots of random stuff happened with the channel over the years. Lots of random stuff has happened to me over the years. And the original reason that I'd kind of gotten into YouTube to begin with, I guess over the years, having kind of grown up with a number of different Let's Play channels over the years, and just kind of generally getting inspired by game development related things. That was kind of the incentive to create a YouTube channel kind of dedicated to reviewing games and kind of showcasing the games that I had, at the time. And one of those, YouTube being a big influence for me in kind of getting into video development and in game development as well, has set me on kind of an interesting path. So at this point, I am in a unique position where I am kind of adjacent in a field that's adjacent to game development. So I get the opportunity of working with a number of people and teaching them how to work with game engines like Unreal and Unity. So I have a decent amount of educational background in software development. I have a decent amount of experience in game development and game programming. And if I think on that same YouTube channel, sorry, there's a car going by. I'm enjoying the weather here right now. Anyway, what I was going to say is that I have a decent... I even have a game that's released on itch.io. It's kind of a silly game, Sergeant Smiles. But that was kind of a little bit of a backstory with that game. That was kind of the experience that game that I tried to create was kind of a challenge set upon myself to kind of learn more about game development, learn more about game programming, so that I can get into a degree in software engineering, learn the skills that I would need to get into a career path that would hopefully lead me towards game development. And I don't want to go into too much detail about where exactly that has taken me, but I will say in general that I'm in a good spot right now, and it's been years since that game has been released, and that was a game that was worked on in Game Maker Studio. And since then I've been kind of sidetracked with working on stuff related to school and just a number of other personal things along the way. And I kind of want to try to get back to that. And one of the interesting things that happened over the years, very recently this year, in October, middle of October, is I just moved into a new apartment. I am finally kind of setting up my own kind of personal space to just kind of be myself, I guess. Just have a space to think and just try to figure out like what I want to continue doing from here. And one of the things that I've decided I want to possibly continue doing is revisiting that game development. Just revisit game development in general, for not so much teaching it to other people, or just trying to stay on top of industry trends or whatever, but just really to try to apply the skills that I've learned over the years into making a game. And it's likely going to be something that's going to involve learning even more things. I'm kind of as far as like some of the content, again, I'm on YouTube a lot, and some of the content that I've found myself watching a lot recently, stuff like that Twitch streamer Atrioc, talking about how in some ways like the game industry is kind of chaotic, but at the same time, seeing that there is such low overhead for an independent developer to just kind of get out there and make their own stuff. And now that I find myself in a financial situation that is relatively more stable, that was a big fear of mine getting into software development and learning about coding and stuff. Is with the amount of hours that it takes to be in a position in like one of those larger companies. And again, this is just speaking from what I'm kind of gathering based on what other people have described, not necessarily from any personal experience of mine, but that's just something I feared is that type of crunch type environment, burnout, and again, just with a number of personal things that were going on and academics, I was already feeling very stretched going towards the end of 2023, the leading into the summer of 2023, I should say. And basically, now I'm out of that. I'm done with college. I am in a more financially stable situation, and I want to try to revisit game developments and try to start doing that more on the side. And so, kind of what this recording is about, this off-the-cuff recording, is possibly the start of a devlog. So, we'll see where things are going. I haven't even really developed a design document at this point. But one of the things that I did discover as I was moving stuff out was this little high-level overview of a story that I had begun kind of developing for a sequel to that Sergeant Smiles game. So what I might do once I kind of get this audio together, and it's not going to be a very likely not going to be very highly produced video. I'm not, I'm in the middle of producing other videos for unrelated purposes. But for this, I'll probably just treat this as an opportunity to read through this script idea that I'd come up with and try to begin developing a game out of that. So starting with kind of like from this, maybe outline a more in-depth design document that tries to outline overall what the game is about, the gameplay mechanics, some of the things that we'll be encountering, and then maybe in addition to that, trying to outline the actual structure of the game, how it's going to be implemented, and that those types of technical details might go in a separate document for my own personal reference. And again, just trying to plan things out. We'll see what's the best approach. I don't know. This is really just an opportunity for me to just try to make a game that I have. I can say that I'm proud of having created a simple game like Sergeant Smiles in Game Maker Studio 2, just to enter the world of programming and learn more about that type of thing. But now that I have a little bit more educational experience under my belt, and I am learning, I'm fortunate enough to be in an environment where I'm also learning a lot more about other game programming principles. I'd like to see if I can try to apply those principles in some of my own personal projects. And so what would be really cool is what I would like to see is get this game ready, applying those principles, have it released on a platform like Steam, and because again, itch.io, it's a cool platform to have stuff released on, but Steam is just a whole nother platform as far as reach, recognition, and availability. So that's the overall kind of nebulous type of plan. Again, as far as where things might go from here, these types of devlogs, I'm hoping will maybe be more of like a weekly type thing. So every Sunday I can give a little bit of an update about the status of this little side project that I'll take on. So hopefully we'll see more details of that down the line. In the meantime, I figured that for this update I would just kind of pick up where we left off. So if any of you, and again, you can take a look at that description, that game in the description that I made. But there's the loose story of the game is you're basically like a little smiley face character that is basically like some sort of special operative that is trying to rescue these hostages from this compound. Again, there was I guess a little bit of inspiration from the first Metal Gear game in terms of trying to rescue hostages and navigating some military base and navigating the traps with that. Metal Gear Solid, I guess, too. I played a little bit of that. So that's basically the plot. You're there to try to rescue these hostages, and at the very end of the game, this is kind of a spoiler, but again, there's not really much of a story to that game. There is a fight with some robots, and you defeat the robots, and you discover that everybody else, like the main villains, have evacuated, and so it's kind of a cliffhanger. You have to continue chasing after them. So, what this game is about is, or the idea for this game is, I suppose, somewhat of a reimagining. I'm trying to recall as well from what I produced in this little high level overview of the story. I'm now that I'm looking at this, I'm debating whether it makes sense to read through the entire thing, just because there's a little bit of well, we'll see where things go. I'll read through this. This is just kind of we can treat this as like a bit of a rough first draft for what the overall high level story looks like, and use this as kind of a template. So, and also if this game does kind of come to fruition, this can act as a bit of an interesting historical record. That internal design decision, but also made publicly available, so that people can just kind of have some appreciation in the lifespan, the evolving nature of the game as it plays out. So that's one way that this might go. So anyway, we'll see how things play out. But yeah, I'll try to make these weekly update videos and try to keep you posted on how things go. Again, there's lots of things going on, but I think that this is an interesting side project I'd like to take on. So, without further ado, this is the high-level overview of the story for this sequel to Sergeant Smiles. June 27th, 1999. Life is as it always was in Oak City. It's summer, and children are capitalizing on the vacation by playing in their neighborhood cul-de-sacs. Some families have gone to visit the local Oak City Art Museum. Despite its modest size, the museum is world-renowned for housing one piece of an exquisite collection of ancient petroglyph tablets. These curious tablets depict crude renderings of things like lizards, plants, buffaloes, and even people. To many, they serve as a powerful example of our desire to express ourselves and the world around us through our own creations. They express a paradoxical immutability in our own evolving nature. As much as we change, so much do we remain the same. These tablets prove attractive for another reason, however. Scientists and anthropologists are fascinated by the physical structures of each of the 4 tablets. Analysis on the tablets reveal that they are composed of magnetite and lead, leading many to speculate on their utility. Some have speculated that they are compasses. Others have posited that, as a set, they make up a larger artwork that uses their magnetic properties to fix themselves to the work. But nobody has any clear evidence of what these tablets might have been used for, if they had any utilitarian purpose. On this day, Dr. Scowley schemes to take the tablets for himself. He believes he has discovered the true purpose of the tablets and the incredible power they conceal. Alexander Scowley is both a modern-day Renaissance man and a genius. When Scowley was born, he did not cry as most newborns do. He instead looked intently at those around him, as if he were studying them. At age 5, Scowley was already taking college-level math courses like calculus, discrete math, and statistics. At age 10, he developed his own online marketplace, TabbyCat, and made a small fortune. Using the fortune acquired from TabbyCat, he invested in several computer electronic and software companies, some of which were exceedingly successful. By age 18, Scowley had doctorates in computer science and economics, and was a billionaire. Scowley, through a combination of luck and hard work, now stood out as a man among men. The world was his to conquer. Indeed, it was his own conclusion that the universe is inherently competitive. Survival is predicated on the exploitation of others. There are predators, and there are prey. Everything competes for the opportunity to live and to produce, the best representatives of the following generation. But Scowley, the capitalist and eugenicist that he is also a pragmatist, and acknowledges why today's industrious populace must be corrected by Scowley's genius. The capitalists of today enrich themselves at the expense of millions of workers to an inordinate degree. Industry is causing temperatures to rise, ice caps to melt, and oceans to rise. It is poisoning our waters, destabilizing our weather patterns, and facilitating more forest fires. Scowley sees the manifestation of the extreme and widening swings between economic prosperity and destitution. Too many people want it all, and are destroying each other and the rest of the world in the quest to take it. Only the most worthy deserve to have it all. Scowley, in his infinite narcissism, has proven to himself that he is worthy to take it all. But to do so, he needs the tablets. Specifically, he requires the contents of the tablets, which, from his own personal studies in ancient history, are said to contain the keys to unlocking an alien technology that can rule the world. It continues. This finally brings us back to the museum where Dr. Scowley launches his operation to breach the museum security and take the tablets. Using his own corporate militia, tanks raid the museum. Robot foot soldiers secure the area as a jetpack-wearing operative absconds with the first of the 4 petroglyph tablets. Oak City is now a war zone with the museum as its epicenter. Enter Sergeant Smiles, a recent military recruit stationed at Fort Ruthill. In the wake of the museum attack, Captain Cringe, Smiles' commanding officer, assigns Smiles to a rescue mission to find and retrieve hostages being held at the Oak City Art Museum. Smiles is promptly deployed. And it continues. And I think I'll leave it at that for now because I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But yeah, that's our little devlog. It's a couple pages long, front to back. So I'll use this as a template to basically figure out how the rest of the game kind of proceeds from there. So treat this as the first devlog in hopefully a long series of devlogs from here. So we'll see how things go.